Yomawari Midnight Shadows is one of those cases where the sequel is a straight upgrade in nearly every aspect to the point that it might as well invalidate the prior game's existence. In fact, after playing through Midnight Shadows, Night Alone comes off as unfinished, given how Midnight Shadows goes on to expand and complete the concepts introduced in Night Alone. Yomawari Midnight Shadows is unique in the Yomawari series as it is the only one that is rated M, whereas the other games are rated T. The Yomawari games then have a shocking opening, such as in Night Alone where the protagonist's dog dies, and Midnight Shadows ramps that the fuck up. Instead of seeing a dog die, we open on the dog already being dead and in the grave. After a bunch of tutorials on how the game is played in addition to some of the gameplay additions, hell yeah, box pushing, the tutorial ends on the character you were playing as committing suicide. Like, fully depicted, and it's pretty fucked up to see this in the first 5 minutes of starting the game. As far as what happens in the games, the Yomawari games are very similar, but the only difference with Midnight Shadows is the surprisingly graphic scene, which leads me to believe that this is probably the reason of the higher rating. After the tutorial, you're introduced to this game's protagonist, Haru, who you spend most of the time playing as. Haru is about to move away to a nearby town, and Yui, her best friend, starts crashing the fuck out, during which she ends up getting spirited away, and Haru spends the rest of the game trying to find out what happened to Yui and where she is. Midnight Shadows has two concurrent stories between Yui and Haru, and while you play as Haru most of the game, at the start of each chapter you have a little section where you play as Yui dealing with ghost shit. This reminds me of Fatal Frame 2, where you'll occasionally swap to Mayu and see what she's up to, which clues you into where your next objective is. And Midnight Shadows follows that same structure. Thank you to my supporters. If you liked the video, consider subscribing or even joining the Patreon. Link on screen and in the description. If you do, you'll be thanked in the videos, be able to watch each video a week early, as well as gain access to bonus videos. Midnight Shadows continues the trend of having shit be hand-drawn, and would you believe it, the environments look nice as fuck. Much like the prior game, the city you walk around in is still gorgeous. Honestly, I might even prefer the town in Midnight Shadows over the one in Night Alone. I feel like the big reason why is that I feel like there is a much higher integration of nature and vegetation inside the urban environments. Walking through them feels noticeably more colorful and vibrant, which is weird given it's a horror game. You'd kind of expect it to go against the tone and atmosphere, but nah, it's just pretty to look at. Makes it nice to walk around. And a major new addition to the types of environments that you explore is indoors. You never really went inside of a building in Night Alone, you pretty much only explored outdoors. But Midnight Shadows introduced the rare ability of being able to go through a doorway, or maybe even a window. This is a very welcome addition. There's only so much variety to the outdoor environments in these two games given their settings and time of year. It's middle of summer small town Japan. You're not going to be trekking through some fucking desert. But having the library and the mansion and even the sewers offer up some fresh areas that feel distinctive and also help at breaking up the areas better. There's 2 times you're exploring a more mountainous type zone and running through a mansion with fucking chairs growing up ready to lay you flat gives time between the 2 zones so you don't get tired of exploring the same type of environments. Honestly, the fact that the first game didn't do anything indoors is surprising in retrospect. It makes Night Alone feel more like a first draft looking back. I'd also argue that the ghost designs are stronger in Midnight Shadows. Like, the giant shadow creatures that block the road look freakier in this game. Like, the fuck is going on with their faces? Also, the antlers are a nice touch that gives it a more distinct look. You've got a creepy baby face, mudmen, fart clouds, bobblehead with a knife, gender bent Abaddon, mouth plants blocking a road, a giant enemy crab. One of my favorite designs was this fucking sick looking crow monster that I came across. I know there's some random encounters in these games, but I don't know if this one is random. There's a good variety of designs here. And there's also more than one boss design because guess fucking what? Now there's more than one boss in this game. I fuck with these designs. The recurring boss Kotowari is a rad looking hand flying at you with some bloody ass scissors. He shows up on occasion to chase after you, specifically your appendages, and despite being the same enemy you encounter multiple times, Kotowari manages to be used in unique ways each time. Kotowari just lunges at you, but even with only that to work with, each encounter has different goals. Simply running the hell away, baiting Kotowari to break some shit in a small room, or finding items in a larger arena. Because the objectives are different, it doesn't get tiring or repetitive. There's also the sick ghost skeleton head on the bridge, and while I like the look of it, Fuck those hands. This is a case where the hitboxes are too large because you'll get grazed and killed so fast. Too fast, even. I'd barely get touched, and I was like, what the fuck, did it even touch me? There needs to be a bit more tolerance that the hand can overlap a bit with horror sprites to be way more obvious you got touched. And the ball of eyeballs that chase after you is also cool looking. Shame that the camera is ass here. It chases you diagonally, which makes the space you've got to dodge its bullshit feel awkward. And hey, you actually get to see the final boss for more than a fucking second. While there are more bosses here, it could still use a bit more tweaks and iteration to nail it. After each chapter, usually marked by some boss fight, you pick up an item before getting sent back to your house to start the next chapter. Here, there's a new mechanic where you can equip the charms you pick up, which can give you some buffs. There's some charms that allow you to carry more items like pebbles, coins, or bullshit like that. Who gives a shit about that when you can equip a doll's arm to make you run longer? Don't ask me how that works. Also, shouldn't it be a doll's leg to be thematic? Whatever. It's just nice to be able to make your running and stamina a little bit less pathetic. But while we're on this charm menu, I'd say that Midnight Shadow's presentation is another aspect that was greatly improved upon from Night Alone. The charm menu has a ton of charm, featuring crayon drawings of the various items you pick up. And the map is similar to the prior game in its art with the way it's drawn and the details you'll find on it. But what stands out to me the most is the in-between chapter diary entries. In Night Alone, what you'll get is some text on grid paper. It's fine, it does what it needs to, but there's no flair, no appeal here. But in Midnight Shadows, now half the page of the diary is dedicated to little drawings recapping where you went and the shit you encountered. It's adorable, and a nice treat after each chapter that also helps in relieving the tension. Just got done running the hell away from some fucking chairs? Here's a little drawing of Haru committing breaking and entering. Adorable. Much like Night Alone, after you beat the game, you're given a post-game if you want to keep playing it. The most important part of this post-game, you get a fucking dog. You're given a charm you can equip that allows you to walk around with a dog. Fuck yeah. You're also able to not only explore the town of this game, but also the town of Night Alone. During this chapter, Haru gets kidnapped and taken to the industrial zone of Night Alone, and that chapter is about escaping that shit and returning to your hometown. It's a pretty cool chapter to play out and also a great way to reuse assets to make your game feel bigger. That technique definitely works here. You can't go everywhere here, like the school itself is blocked off, but you're given access to most of this shit. There's some sort of quest line in this town featuring the Night Alone protagonist. Apparently you can run into her and things happen. I wouldn't know fully. I didn't fuck around much in the post-game. I know that quest line is a thing, but I don't know the extent of it, or what happens or how to do it. Not much of a Yomawari post-game person, if you can't tell by now. Though Yomawari Midnight Shadows is a touch longer than the first game, it still clocks around the pretty short length. It took me about 5 hours to play through this game. It's possible that Midnight Shadows is twice as large as Night Alone between the hour count and the fact that there's 2 maps, but I can't confirm that for sure. Anyway, it's longer, larger, girthier, and I'd argue a better experience than the first game. But where it is similar to Night Alone, Midnight Shadows is also sold regularly for $20. Hey, fuck that. Again, I like this game, I think it's good, but when you can get it for sale for $4, just wait. Exercise some patience. But if and when you decide to pick it up, Yomawari Midnight Shadows is a very charming experience.